I remember two seasons ago, because obviously April and I didn't golf this past season. I don't think she golfed at all. I think golf was something she did because I liked it. She pretended she was all into it, but which is fine. I pretended I was into hunting. It's okay. That's what you do when you're a couple. See, this is why I don't know why Patrick Melton and his fans are coping about the dressing up the dog thing. It's fine. Just don't, when you're a little bitch who likes to dress up your dog, don't try to posture yourself as some kind of big tough guy. Because you're not. Again, I backhand you in the mouth, you'd cry. You'd walk away. You'd do nothing. You do nothing. So don't, like, I put the kids, now I have kids, so it's okay for me to be a total my dog. You're just a lonely, morbidly obese man. It's a little weird, but you should own it. You should stop denying it. But then again, I suppose if you have a stupid audience and they'll just buy it, why not? It is amazing to watch that, though. Like, watching them get mad at me for exposing their guy as a liar, which I do all the time. I mean, it's effortless. I've done it 9,000 times. Every time they try to do it to me, they backfire. It's just, I don't know. They're not going to care. Like, if he just admits he dresses his dog up, here's what he doesn't understand. Maybe it's too much pride. Maybe it's scarring from Red Bar. I don't know. He doesn't have any fans. Nobody's there for him. He's shown that. He tried to do a show like I do. He tried to be Aaron Imholt. He failed. He tried to be Steel Toe. He failed. He wanted to do biting commentary. He wanted to talk about the news. Nobody gave a shit because I'm funnier than he is and I'm smarter than he is. So I do a better show. They are all there because they hate me. I'm the lightning rod. I'm the draw. He still, I think, is in denial of that because he's wanted this for so long, people to listen to him. But, like, you tried to be me and you couldn't. Like, you're trying to be the anti-me and you're even not doing so hot at that. I saw the other day someone took a screenshot of his show and it was like 500 viewers. I'm like, dude, on a bad day, we're doing 800 at a time. Doing over 1,000 on Rumble Fridays. Like, we're doubling him up. It's bad news. But, like, don't worry. They're not going to think less of you. They look past you. They look through you. You're not part of their equation. You don't matter, Pat. It's all about me. They don't care what you do. They'll give you a pass on everything. So just admit it. Come clean. Quit struggling. It's embarrassing. We're all watching you, and it's like watching a retarded kid try to play basketball. It's tough. But at any rate, I don't know. I gotta take that dog for a walk sometimes. I like it. Yeah, Nico, I cleaned off the Baldo. I saw his thing. I saw a couple of his things, too, that people sent out there. It's an interesting tactic. He must be worried about something. He usually gets desperate and really talkative when he's traumatized by something. I think I know what it is. But he told some stories that were untrue, where the inverse is true, but he knows that if I correct the record, I break certain conditions. So it's a smart move, but what he doesn't understand is I love my conditions. I'm begging for my conditions to be extended forever till the end of time. I love those conditions. They are one of the that one condition is one of the best things that ever happened to me. And it's driving him nuts too, which is, it's cute. But it's time to let it go. Part of getting over addiction is letting go and moving on. But I'm memorable. Like, I'm not going to tell stories about how he cried to me and said I'm taking over his bed. I'm not going to tell those stories. I'll tell you why I'm not going to tell that story. Because my audience is disgusted by it. They think it's gross. Other people online think it's gross. They think it's disgusting. I think it's gross and disgusting. The difference between he and I is I feel shame of the things I've done. It was disgusting. It was gross. It was beneath me as a father, as a husband, as a human being. It was fucking terrible. It's disgusting behavior. I'm ashamed of it. I'm grossed out like these people are grossed out. I'm grossed out like when you talk about it, people listening to it are grossed out. We're all grossed out by it. It's terrible. But like, he doesn't want to say, yeah, I cried to Aaron and I pulled him aside and I sat him down and I opened up to him and was emotional and said that, you know, I've basically taken over his bed and it's very hard for him to deal with. I don't know how I did that by myself. That's weird. But that's a disgusting, gross story to tell. That's really disgusting, and you shouldn't talk that way. And when are you going to get full custody of your kids? Why would I have full custody of my kids? They have a mom. They have a dad. I get them. Wait. Nobody's trying to wait, what, Sam? Somebody's trying to transition my... I think you got the wrong guy. Chad Buzamok says, oh, so you dressed your dog up. Great, thank you. Yeah, I'm the one who can admit it. I don't get on here and go, I'm a toughest guy on the internet. I just... I dressed my dog up for my birthday because the kids thought it would be fun. SP found a little happy birthday hat at Petco. And then the kids were like, yeah, he's got to have a party hat. I'm like, Nico says, imagine getting upset about your dog. LOL, couldn't be me. No, I couldn't either. The fact that he's upset about the dog thing. Like I said, like he'll sit there for 2 years and just like, I need Aaron's attention. I need Aaron's attention. I need Aaron's attention. I need him to get mad. And we'll laugh at him. And then I'll just go on one short 5-minute strafing run once every couple of weeks, and he'll blow a gasket about it. I only had one rich person in my family. My grandmother, my great-grandmother on my mom's side. Her and her husband owned a shitload of land in St. Cloud, basically where the Cashwise is off of Highway 10. All that land on the other side of Highway 10, they owned all that. Where Shopco was, my great-grandparents owned that land, and they just kept selling it off as the big stores and the developers came to town. There's the lake property and all that, which is still in my family, but they weren't like filthy, disgusting, live on it forever rich. Plus, my mom's family has 7 children in it, so like that gets divvied up. So yeah. That's the most rich person I think I know was my grandmother. My grandmother is probably one of the wealthiest people I ever met. I don't mean to brag, but, Steel Toe Media has $20 in the petty cash fund. I pay my lost interest, and I go, you're looking at the last of the petty cash. Uh-oh. Chad Buzamok says, do you think they brag about the son who plays radio in his basement? No, I don't brag about that. I've said numerous times, I'm on my penance. I'm on my probation until one of these 3 companies I'm talking to goes, you know what? We're ready to roll the dice on the fucking woman-hating madman. as soon as they're like every time I talk to them, they're like, we know what would do numbers. We know what would do okay. Basically, we just want to know you're okay. That's right. It's 2 things. It's the business is in terrible shape. We're having a hard time bringing anyone in, let alone, starting new shows. And also, we need to know that you're not going to destroy everything we've built, which totally fair question. Chad Buzamok says, is there a time frame on being back on radio again? Yeah, I feel a little more comfortable throwing a timeline out there. It was supposed to be January 1st, but then, some things happened. The polycule happened. Definitely in May when they all got arrested, and I was kind of, tied in with all that everything kind of cooled. Then it started coming back this fall and this winter. And I know that for 2 of them, summertime is kind of a time frame, but for one of them, it's a staffing thing. It depends on retirements and shit like that. MN Viking says, I wouldn't mind doing radio or being a sports commentator. It just sucks that everyone can just Google something about you or Google your name and stuff comes up bad about you. I got news for you. Most people in radio and entertainment and all that, you Google something about them, something bad's going to come up about them. That's just the way it is. Nick, the best thing you can do is just either not talk about it, or when people ask you about it, just be honest about it. Just tell them the truth. MN Viking says, do you know what to say to your kids about all the bad stuff about you on the internet? I have news for you. Nobody in real life really gives a shit about the internet stuff. They give a shit about the real life stuff that I did. The internet shit, everybody in my family, like people who are this is why I talk about people who are too terminally online. Like people in my life know this is a show. everything around it is a show. I'm not like this in my real life. I'm not running around being this way all the time and poking people and shit. I'm performing. I'm doing a performance. It's pro wrestling, essentially. So nobody really gives a shit. You know, people are like, what about your kids and your family? Playing a part. I did plenty of embarrassing shit when I was on radio, too. You're doing a show. That's all. It's the real life stuff where you're like, all right, you got to sit people down. You got to talk to them. That's the stuff that, you know, like I said, you just got to come clean about. It's looking good. It's looking great. It's Gordy's birthday today.